Real talk, real life, real growth.
This is Raw Reality with Tori Story and Fit with Lily. Lily, do you think you're lazy?
No, not even close. I do dabble sometimes with the thought of feeling like I'm not doing enough, but has nothing to do with being lazy. I'm quite the opposite person, and I'm very confident in saying that. Tori, do you think you're lazy?
No, I don't. I think I've just struggled in pregnancy because it is so different. But I feel like you also can't compare me pregnant to me not pregnant.
There's also there's a huge difference between being lazy and resting.
Yeah.
A huge difference. And that is what we want to dive into today, guys, is actually just stopping being lazy, stop playing the victim, and actually take accountability for making change in your life and ditch that attitude, but focusing on the balance aspect as well, because it is hard to know the difference between both of them.
The lazy go attitude. And I think it's more prominent in today's society because this generation is handed things a lot faster, a lot quicker without the work that needs to be done in terms of, I'm going to use like social media and stuff as an example, but I think about people that Jackson and I have tried to hire, or you tried to hire, and it's like what they ask for is crazy with the experience or the training or whatever it is that they have, not up to like where it needs to be to earn said amount. Like I'm just using this as an example, but it's like back in the day, like I think I asked for a pay rise once, and I'm not saying you can't ask for a pay rise, but it was like once I was established in my role, once I knew.
I never asked for a pay rise.
Yeah, and I would say 90% of our group have never asked for a pay rise, but also a lot of us work for ourselves now. But I only ever did when I knew that I was worth it and like my qualifications and like experience was next to none. But it's like people are asking for pay rises so quickly or like before they've even started the job, it's like, I want this. And you're like, what?
I think it's like literally you said, in today's society, I understand that obviously the cost of living is going up. It is so much harder to actually provide for yourself, for your family in today's society, 1000%. But there's a difference between actually being realistic with where you are at and then just asking for too much. Now, they always say you may as well ask for a lot more and then you come back down. So there are always two sides to the story. But if we kind of go back into the fitness, I guess, space, people want the results, but they're too lazy to do the work. And they think that, I've been doing it for a few weeks. No. You've just finally stopped being lazy for a few weeks. And now you're kind of seeing maybe specks of it. It takes so long of consistency and ditching that lazy girl attitude to actually see the results you're after. So that's what we want to talk about.
Yeah. And it's like, are you holding yourself back by glorifying being lazy? Because I think a lot of us get confused. Like we think lazy is just like laying on the couch doing nothing, but it's actually like a lot more than that. And it's doing things that you might feel like are productive, like whether that's, I feel like scrolling is not that productive, but scrolling on your phone, like you're still being active and you think that it's not lazy, but like it is, or you're procrastinating doing something else or you're canceling plans, like whatever it is. I think there's so many times where you feel like you're not being lazy, but if you break it down, you're like, I'm actually just not doing the thing that I said I would.
AKA making a vision board for the millionth time, pinning your Pinterest photos for a millionth time when you actually just need to start the project, but you're kind of disguising your, I guess, laziness with unproductive productivity. If that makes sense. Like you're literally trying to put all of these other little dopamine hits throughout your day that actually make you feel good, but you're putting off the task that you actually need to do to elevate and push you forward. So there's something called the gray area. And this is essentially like what we have just touched on. It's like things that are kind of feel like are holding you back, but you feel like you're doing something. So like I said, it's like literally the scrolling on the phone, the procrastinating, putting things off until tomorrow, always talking about starting goals, but never actually putting the action in place. That is the only thing that is going to create change in your life. And a lot of us do it through like being busy, like literally quote unquote busy. Just because you're busy does not mean you are productive. Sometimes the most successful people in the world actually work a little bit less because they're a lot more productive with their time.
I feel like I caught myself so much saying, like when people are like, how are you? And you're like, oh, busy. Because like if you're busy, you're successful is like the mark of where people kind of put that on. But it's like I stopped myself from saying that because I'm like, my goal isn't to be busy. My goal is to be free and like work when I want, do what I want. So why am I like glorifying being busy when it's not what I want it to be, if that makes sense?
100%.
So it's like when someone asks you, how are you, whatever, and if you catch yourself going, oh, I'm really busy at the moment, just go, am I really busy at the moment? Or do I just want to say I'm busy because hopefully they think I'm successful? Not the case. And I think we can really just pull that back and go, okay, what do I deem as successful? Am I actually busy or am I being lazy? Am I putting things in my calendar that don't need to be there? Or am I, again, procrastinating, putting things off, and I'm just prolonging my goals at the end of the day? Because we can always procrastinate. We can always put things off. And I think a lot of people put things off because they're uncomfortable, they're scary, they're fear of judgment. And then they get caught in the gray area of all the other things that you just mentioned.
I do that I used to do that all the time, and I even try to like pick myself and Kate up on it as much as we can, because what you speak to yourself is what you believe. A quote that I used to love saying is, I don't have enough time.
Yeah.
Always used to say, I don't have enough time to do XYZ. I don't have enough time to do this, to post that. I'm like, I'm so busy. So then I like told myself that I couldn't actually do all of these things because I was too busy, and I believed that I couldn't do it. Then I started like changing the way I spoke to myself. It didn't take away from the fact that like I have limited time and I am busy, but it's like, okay, where can I pull back in some areas to put that thing that I'm really like wanting or I find valuable in my life, to kind of like make the time to, I guess, push yourself further forwards in what you actually want to do. So I've really reframed what I've been saying, and I never say, like, I probably do now and then because it's always going to come up if it has been a habit, but I try my best not to say I don't have time. I have been like literally, I guess the past few days, I've kind of like switched my mindset literally since speaking to Zara, and she was like, oh, like we work so fast. And I'm like, that's what it is. Like, I think sometimes we're kind of I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but sometimes we make things so much bigger than it actually has to be. And if a task takes like 5 minutes, I used to be like, okay, I have to allocate this 5 minutes on a Thursday. I'm like, how about you just do it now, tick it off and move on? Like, actually do the thing right then and there. And this falls back into every other area of your life, and even falls back into the lazy aspect. It's like going down the ladder to the most simple task. You see a piece of clothing on the floor, like hanging on your chair, and it's like, oh, I'll do that later. That's a version of you kind of falling into being that lazy trap. Pick it up then and there. It's going to save you time in the future. It's going to save you that like mental capacity and load, knowing that like I still have to do this. By doing a task right then and there, taking out the laziness aspect, it helps you so much in the future, and it falls onto every other aspect of your life. And I've really been trying to do that in the house, and that has fallen into my work life too.
It's like the rule, touch it once. How many times, like growing up, you just like you hang that one chair in your room and you just put your clothes on it all the time. Still, I do it sometimes.
It's like a designated chair and a designated drawer. Yeah. It's just like the two things in a house that you just have to have.
Yep. But also on that with tasks, like if they're 5 minutes, get it done, whatever. Grace Beverly, I can't remember if it was on a vlog that I watched or something.
It was.
And she has her 5-minute task, her 10-minute task, her 15 minutes, her 30 minutes. And it's like a lot of the time we have a task and we think, oh, that'll take 5 minutes. And then you start doing it and you're like, hang on, this is actually a 30-minute task. So when you're writing out your to-do list, I know this is a tangent, but I feel like it helps. When you're writing out your to-do list, be realistic with the time that these tasks take. So you can realistically put them into your day, week, whatever it is, and not go, oh, those 5 tasks will take me 5 minutes when they're probably going to take you an hour. And then if you allow yourself more time, you're not rushing, you're going to get it done, and then you can tick off and move to the next thing.
I do it the opposite to Grace Beverly, and this is where it's like goes to show that everyone works really differently. I know that she likes to do her really hard tasks in the morning, her long mundane ones, tick it off, like it's almost saying like eat the frog, then kind of does the like quick 5-minute task that you can quickly tick for a 30-minute block around the lunch period. I flip it opposite. So I do the 5-minute task first thing in the morning, because I find that actually takes the most mental capacity and load with myself, because I'm like, oh my God, there's 10 things I have to do. And then if I'm doing these bigger tasks, I'm like, I have so much to do for the rest of the day. But if I can tick those off early, the small, easy ones, I'm like, cool, that mental load is off. Now I can focus on my bigger tasks.
I feel like your brain too, if you can tick off the smaller ones, which is like there's probably a lot of them, and it starts your day with like, oh, I've done all of this. It feels good. And then you're like ready to tackle the rest.
100%.
Whereas other people are like, I need to get these hard ones done first.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I won't do them.
Yeah.
I dabble in both.
Okay.
Depends on the day.
It depends on the task. Because sometimes I have like a big task. I'm like, I have to wake up. If I like trying to do it at night, my brain's switching off. I will do it random at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
That's when I can focus the most. And then I do the 5-minute task.
Yeah. I have become more of a morning since being pregnant because my nights are like, since like second trimester, like my nights are, I'm tapping out.
Yeah.
Like after I left the office yesterday, I was like,
and do not text me.
Couldn't even respond to the WhatsApp. I was like, my brain is not on. But this is where we can get caught in that comfort loop. And once you start choosing the comfortable options all the time, you continue to choose them. Now, for example, we skip the workout. And then you continue to skip the workout. And then it's a week. And then it's 2 weeks. And you're like, oh, fuck, I haven't trained in 3 weeks. Now, I have struggled with this. But again, it is so different because I am pregnant. And it is so hard because I follow all these women that work out during their pregnancy. And, you know, they've done it all. And then because I've been in the gym and like an athlete majority of my life, it is so hard to like let that go. So that's more like for me like a mindset thing. And it's like, oh, I skipped that workout again. Well, yeah, I've done like 5 gym workouts in 6 months.
I'm honestly really proud of how you've handled this season.
Yeah.
Because I know that you're probably struggling a lot more than you actually let on. But maybe that's just I guess a judgment point. But like, it's hard. And like, I don't know how I would go with it.
I think I've just kind of been like, it is what it is. And like, this pregnancy for me hasn't been able to be at the gym as normally as I would be or training up until I give birth, like some women. I think
as well, like if you are like genuinely, like which you have been so sick, it's kind of like, oh, like I literally,
like
you know that you're not making an excuse. You know that like there's just no fucking way I'm getting there. Because it's like even when you're like, I don't know, kind of half unwell, but you could go train, that's when the guilt kind of comes in. But when you're on your deathbed, you're like, no way am I getting to the gym. There's like a 2 different mindsets.
So it obviously is very circumstantial, but this is where back last year, for example, beyond or even before that, determining lazy with rest, and especially as athletes or being someone in the gym, do you really need the rest, or are you feeling like you're just being a little bit lazy and you could go in and say, I'm going to do my warm-up and then see how you feel. 9 times out of 10, you're going to finish the workout. If you get halfway through it, I know you've done that so many times where you're like, actually, I'm halfway through. My headache is pounding. Like I literally cannot finish this workout. It's going to be worse than good. I'm going home. But you tried and you did it. And then 9 times out of 10, you're like, oh, it was fine. Like I got the workout done.
I gave this tip to my client the other day because she's been like so locked in through her deficit and then kind of like reversing out. It's like when you don't have that specific goal, it is a lot harder to be consistent. And I've actually given this tip to a few people and I think a lot of you will take value from it. But it's like, let's say you're struggling with your routine again and you just keep missing the gym because again, you've gotten in that comfort loop of like you've built that habit in your brain to keep skipping the gym, to keep finding an excuse. Just do 1 set at the gym. Like if you're like, I'm so busy at the moment, I only have 20 minutes, there's no point me going to the gym. Get in the habit of going to the gym, doing 1 exercise and leaving. I know it might feel non-productive and it's like, what was the point of that? I just wasted my time. But you're building up that discipline. You're building up that habit again to keep showing up. And then maybe you do that 1 exercise and you're like, oh, that was actually fast and I think I can do hamstring curls quickly too and then I'll go. Or it's like, okay, I can only get half my workout in. Let's do half your workout rather than nothing at all. And you slowly build that up. And I know I don't know who it was or where I've heard it, but a very successful businessman also did this. He said, no matter what, I will train every single day, even if it's 1 set of barbell squats and that's all I have time for. That is what I'm doing because it's the routine and the habit that matters the most.
And even trying to pinpoint where your resistance is. For me at the moment, it's like going to the gym. I'm happy to go to Pilates because I know either the girls are coming, Amy's classes are slay, like it's fun. And I'm like, I don't have to think about anything. But my resistance is like going to the gym, trying to pick a workout because I'm just like, what can I do? So if that resistance is there for you, it's like, okay, where am I at? Can I get some dumbbells for home and do that 1 or 2 a week? And then I'm going to the gym only once, but you're still getting movement in because then that's going to progress into, okay, I think I'm ready to go to the gym now and dedicate time to that. I think I need some dumbbells at home. I feel like that feels more realistic for me. And again, even if it is 10, 20 minutes. And that's going to be realistic for me postpartum.
Yeah,
Let me tell you that much.
Yeah, 100%. So a lot of the time we just get caught in this comfort loop, and it's even putting off a project that you're wanting to start, right? It's so comfortable to build the branding, the logo, to make a social media page, but it's not comfortable to set up your accounting books, to actually click live, to set
Or
up
even
the
start
back
posting.
Yep, to set up the back end website. Like that's the stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable. So we put off that and we stay on the easier tasks. The easier tasks aren't going to get us the success and the results that we want. So we have to kind of keep leaning into this discomfort, and we can also get caught in just like cruising. We can get to a point in our lives now, there's nothing wrong with this at all, and it definitely comes down to like your personality and what you want out of life and what fulfills you the most. But I found like, I'm going to probably say start of last year and even like the back half of the year before, like I just got comfortable in my business. I had a good amount of clients. I was making a good amount of money. I was saving each week. I could do whatever I want. Like I was in a very...
And like it served that season.
100%. I was in a very comfortable position, literally enjoying my life. And it was a very good part of my life that I needed. And then I was kind of like, well, I'm not really growing. I'm not really doing anything. Like I'm literally just taking the task, going home, doing the same thing every day. And I almost had to get to a point where I was like, okay, what do I need to do to put myself in an uncomfortable position to actually start growing now? And then like the past freaking 6 months have absolutely skyrocketed through putting myself in a different position and not staying in that comfortable lane. So a lot of the time, it doesn't also have to relate to not doing the thing. It can just come back to like doing it, but just at a cruisy level. The same with like gym workouts. We can get to a point where showing up is really easy, training is really easy, but I'm not progressing anymore. I'm not pushing myself in the gym. And that's the next level that you need to take.
And then something like more service level outside of fitness is just like cancelling plans. It's like, how often are you cancelling plans because you literally can't be fucked? But for the most part, if you actually go, you're going to feel better for either socializing, getting outdoors, or it's going to make you feel motivated to then go home and do the tasks you've been putting off all day. Yeah.
Sunday morning, this close not going to the markets.
It was so random. We were not expecting you to come at all.
I just like assumed that, yeah, because when I was like, why is no one answering my text? And they're like, oh, I've already got wraps and sitting down. I was like, did they just like not think I was coming?
Yep, no. Because I don't think you responded the night, because you were the one that said, I want to wrap.
Yeah.
I wanted to try the wraps. And then we'll drive in there and I'm like, weird that Lily just like didn't reply because like she wanted the wrap. So then we went to Hodder and then we're sitting down eating and she called. She's like, where are you guys? And we're like, what?
I don't know why. I just was like, oh yeah, Christina said she wasn't coming. I didn't say I wasn't coming, but I didn't say I was coming. And I was like, well, here I am. I'm here.
It's like,
you guys already have your wrap. But to be fair, I did eat breakfast before I went. But anyways, a situation like that, I woke up kind of a little bit stressed. I was like, fuck, I got a lot to do today. Hanged out with my friends, chill morning or for an hour, felt so much better.
Yeah.
Like it's just getting outside of your little comfort bubble and that makes you feel so much better for it.
It really, really does. And you just sometimes have to get yourself, and I know it's hard once we get into that comfortable blanket, you don't want to get out. That's not like literally in bed, but it's like when you put that comfort blanket on in life, it's really hard to just rip it off because it's cold and it feels uncomfortable. But you have to throw that blanket away and go and do the things that you said you were going to do. Otherwise, it'll never happen.
Yeah. Laziness is literally stopping you from
everything.
Becoming the person you want to be. It's keeping you small. It's keeping you stuck. It's not challenging you, and you're never actually going to see the results that you want just because you've like kind of like staying in your little blanket. Like we said, that fluffy, cozy blanket. Like you have to start to try new things. You have to put yourself out of your comfort zone, and we get so caught in like not trying like new challenges because it does fall back into being lazy. And I think that word has, I'm gonna say like a very like big like taboo or stigma around it. Like we said at the start of this episode, being lazy almost feels like you're just laying on the couch watching Netflix all day.
And like you're so offended if someone calls you lazy. Yeah. Because you're like, oh, how dare you?
Oh, I would flip if someone called me lazy. I'd be like,
yeah, but like you're not lazy.
I know, and that's
for someone who is lazy, it's going to hit them hard because they know they're lazy and they're not doing the shit that they should do. And it's like, you know, when you're a kid growing up and it's like you're not making your bed, you're not cleaning up your dishes, and your parents are like, you're so fucking lazy.
Oh, I was fucking lazy as a child. Yeah, so lazy. I was very like motivated when it came to like the like schoolwork and cheerleading.
Yeah, same.
Second I came to the house, second I was in the house, guys, my room was a disaster.
Still is.
Still.
Nah, you're not my drawers.
Shut. Can't see. One step at a time.
No, your house is good. I'm proud.
But guys, like my room was I would have to show you a photo because it is disgusting. But like I used to be lazy, and I'm 100 hand on my heart can say that. Like I wouldn't bring things out of my car. I would do things last minute. I would literally sit in my car for 30 minutes to an hour post workout before my workout because I just like kept putting off doing the hard thing. I could have an extra hour in my day to work, to get my steps in, to get more sleep.
And it's also like then you weren't busy to be doing, you know, what you're doing now, where it's like you got out of those habits, you got out of the loops, you threw the blanket away, you started doing the hard things. Now you actually don't have time to sit in your car for an hour.
That's exactly what it is.
So you don't make the excuses because you're like, well, I fucking know that if I don't get out of my car right now, like I'm running my own business.
It's 5:30 a.m. and every single morning I think I'm behind already. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. But that's just my mind. And that's just an unproductive way of thinking, to be honest with you.
Yep.
But it's like you have to, and it's not forcing yourself to be busy in a non-productive way. It's like knowing, okay, like if I'm sitting in this car, I'm wasting my life, essentially. Like imagine that's 7 hours per week. If I'm spending 30 minutes in my car before and after workout, that is literally 7 hours per week. That's a full working day. Full working day. Imagine how much time you can have extra to put it towards things that you want to do.
And I think this might be a little, what's the word? Confronting for people because they're sitting here maybe in their car after their workout. If you're listening to us, it's fine.
Yeah, it's productive.
But it can be really confronting when you're hearing these things. You're like, fuck, like I've been doing that. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. So you really have to like get clear on where it is that you're quote unquote being lazy in your life. And maybe it's not lazy everyone's going to have a different interpretation of lazy, but it's like, okay, where in my life am I wasting time? Where in my life can I be putting more in? Because I guarantee you, majority of you listening are wanting to start that business, go to the gym, maybe compete in this sport, maybe like you've all got a goal of some sort. So where in your life can you pull back on things that are not so productive to give back to the things that you actually want to do?
100%.
Because we all have them.
Yeah. We get so caught in just doing the same routine day in, day out. And you feel like you can't add in any extra. You feel like you can't do anything else. I'm just going to say it. You can. You absolutely can. You just have to manage your time better. Now, there's probably going to be a few of you listening here and there who maybe literally can't. You have children. You have a job, like 2 jobs. It's like your life is actually pretty crazy. You're kind of running to the minute. There's majority of us always have time for these other things. We just have to get out of our current routine. And this year for myself, I've really tried to pull myself out of my current routine and form a new one for my new season of life. And I don't know what episode it was, but I think it was only like maybe like 2 months or so ago, the start of this year, which I can't believe I'm even saying that. That's crazy. Where I said like, oh, I tried working out first thing in the morning. That's not for me. 10 a.m.'s for me. Like I have to train around then. I've changed my routine and almost like changed my belief on that. And now I train first thing in the morning because that has allowed me to get a lot more done throughout the day. Because when I trained at 10, I just found like I was just wasting a lot of time in between.
It's hard when you get that. And again, like this is coming from a place of we work for ourselves. We have that flexibility, but you can get in that really good flow. And then it comes to 10, like I'm in such a good mood. Like I don't want to go to the gym. So, and it is that season of like, get it done first thing. And you've got the whole day. And then you can actually enjoy a lunch break, get back to it.
Yeah.
You know, it works for you. And it's like, we always say, change your routine with the season if you can. Like we're now going into
winter. We are in autumn.
We are in autumn. Yep. In autumn, heading into winter, and it's like things are starting to change. Our mornings are later because the sunrise is later. But it's like you're starting to get up before the sunrise to work, and then you're going to the sunrise. Like you get to change within the season, and that doesn't have to be in the seasons of spring, summer, autumn, winter. It can be also the season of your life, and it can be where your business is at, how old your kids are you doing school drop-offs, like working around where you're at. It doesn't have to be the same day in, day out for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. The biggest piece here is that momentum is truly everything. You guys have probably realized by now, once you start something, it becomes easier and easier and easier the more you did it. If you haven't listened to our episode with Alexis, highly recommend, because this is literally what she spoke about and the science behind it. Once you start a task, it's going to be really uncomfortable at the start. It's going to be extremely difficult, but the more you do that hard thing, the easier it's going to get. You have to build that discipline within your brain, but you build that momentum. So the first time you go to the gym, oh my goodness, it was really hard. But then you kind of get into the habit of doing, the momentum follows along, and that falls into healthy eating because that makes you feel better, it helps you recover more, and everything truly just starts to become easier.
In social media, it's like when you post once, it is terrifying when you put it on your story, when you film yourself, whatever it is, you will get a response back of some sort. Someone will like it, someone will comment on it, someone will respond to you, and you go, oh my God, like I see that I'm making a difference. I see that I'm making an impact. I can do this and I can keep going. And you start doing it every time, once a week, twice a week, then you're posting on your stories every single day and it becomes second nature and you don't even second guess it like you did at the start.
Something that I am still working on is doing those annoying fucking tasks that you just don't want to do. Okay, booking your car in for a service, doing the accounting thing, replying to your real estate agent. I'm really bad at those things. And when I put it off for, I'm talking weeks, I'll put it off. I had to book in my car because someone decided to hit it, which is sad. And it took me, got done in December. So that happened in December and I think I booked it in February. So we're talking like 2.5 months type vibe that I was putting off in my brain. And I just thought it was going to be this huge task. I kept putting it off. Finally called the insurance person. 5 minutes. It was the easiest thing in my life. He was like, can you please just send me their details? And I was like, that's all you need? Like, you don't need mine? He was like, no, I just need what they need. I was like, oh, okay. It's always like, the starting thing is the hardest part. Once you're actually doing the hard project or the hard task you've been putting it off, it's like, oh, it's actually not that bad. Then you get into the momentum and the rhythm of working. It's even like a deep workflow. If you keep breaking and you keep scrolling on TikTok every 5 minutes, it's extremely difficult to get back into the zone. If you're like 30 minutes in, you're deep in work mode, it's so much easier to keep going rather than breaking it every single time. So momentum is truly the one thing that will create your change.
And then when you go to do it the next time, you need to remember when you did it last and like, oh, that actually was a really easy task. Yeah. I can't do this.
Yeah. Most successful people always choose the harder option as well. If we're feeling a little bit lazy on a down day, we are going to opt for the easier task. It's just naturally the human body and the human mind want to stay safe. It's the easiest option. We always opt for the easier task. But the most successful people in the world, the people that you idolize and look up to, will always choose the harder option. So if you have like two at hand, it's like, hey, simple as, do I want to put this dish away now or do I want to put it away later? Easy one, later. Harder one now, but it's going to create an easier life for you later when you don't have to constantly think about it or it's not piled up in the dishwasher, whatever it's going to be, but choose the harder option now.
And it's always like, that's obviously such an easy example, but then if you put that into like such a bigger picture of whether it's your business, whether it's your fitness, it's like if you can sit there and just go, right, this is hard now and that's going to be harder later. What am I choosing? And this is what we always say, choose your hard.
Yes.
You have to choose your hard. And it's like, if you're thinking about, like Lil said, the most successful person, what are they choosing? If you're looking at someone who wants to be who is in your position, what are they choosing? And why the fuck are you not choosing it?
That is why I constantly, not why, but like what I thought about like in bodybuilding and the hardest days, I would always I had a few people that I looked up to and aspired to be like, and I was like, okay, what would they choose in this situation? And sometimes you do have to draw on other people for inspiration, but I was like, they wouldn't finish cardio a minute early. They wouldn't just cruise on cardio. They wouldn't miss a food by a gram. Like they always choose that harder option, whether that is doing an extra rep because they were like, that one didn't count, an extra set because that one didn't count, doing an extra 2 minutes because they couldn't get their heart rate up. Like I know that they're choosing the harder options. I aspire to be like that. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I think it is really important to use these people that you look up to as inspiration, not as a comparison or a jealousy point, but like use them as motivation as to why you're doing something.
I was like really good at that in acro. And like, you know, if our coach said 50 push-ups and it's like so many people would cheat and they would be standing there counting people, I would get to say 40. I'm like, I could stop here. But it's like, it felt like this like OCD moment in my brain where I was like, I have to get to 50 because I was constantly being like, well, if I'm going to get on that stage and I'm going to win, she's going to do 50 push-ups, probably 60. When I was little, it was always 10 more than the rest. And then when I was back at the gym like 2 weeks ago, I was more so standing in the coach's position and I was just like counting everyone. And I'm like, you cheated and you cheated and you cheated. And I'm like, it's like, I find it like the most frustrating thing ever because you know each and every one of them have so much potential if they put in the extra work. But it's the same goes in life. It's like, where can I find that fire from when I had in the gym? And always pushing for that extra rep in the business, in the kitchen, in whatever it is.
100%. If you listen to like, let's say a successful sports person, they will never tell like their biography or anything. Be like, oh yeah, when I was younger, I always like skipped out on conditioning. I did 10 less reps. I didn't work as hard. They're always the people that will say, oh, I put in the extra work. I showed up 30 minutes early to practice. I stayed an hour later from practice, drilling this drill, doing X, Y, Z to become a better version of themselves.
I'm pretty sure it was Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Would stay or go to training early and do 1,000 shots every single training session.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why he is where he is.
Yeah.
So where can you put that in life? And if you think about, just jog your memory on the last 6, 12, 3 years, whatever it is, where in life have you chosen something really, really hard that paid off? And where can you do that again?
Yeah, I like that one. So let's go into a little bit more like lazy versus intentional. There is a big difference between like lazy is essentially like avoiding effort, and being intentional is choosing where the effort goes, because we can't keep go 24/7. We will burn out, we will crash, and then we will never get where we want to be. We have to be intentional with our time. So it's not about choosing, okay, I'm going to be lazy today. It's like I'm choosing to rest today. But I think the biggest key difference here is actually planning ahead of time. So knowing, okay, I have a back-to-back week. I'm doing so much. On Friday morning, I have the morning off work. I'm sleeping in. I'm not setting an alarm. I will still do my habits, but I'm having a much slower morning. That is being intentional with your time. That's not being lazy.
And on that, before it escapes my memory because I feel like it's running, is no, it's gone.
Oh,
No, lazy versus intentional. Cleo. It's the baby brain, guys. It's really hitting hard. It's like right on the tip of my tongue.
I hate that.
I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully it comes back. But let's just go on a different tangent, because even now being pregnant again, it's like you have to go with the season. I know that for a fact at the moment, I cannot be working probably past 5 or 6. Sometimes, yes, I'm like, maybe I'll jump on and do some emails or whatever if I'm feeling it. But for the most part, like I'm in bed by 7:38 and I need to be. Like I need as much sleep as I can at the moment. Obviously, I'm growing a human. But back last year, I'd be training 4 hours a night. So I'd be getting up.
You would still be at the gym at that time.
I'd still be at the gym. I'd come home, I'd have dinner, and then I'd maybe do some work and some editing. Or like before I went to Melbourne, it's like I could work. I was the night owl, and you were like, stop fucking sending me business messages.
Yeah, I was
at
like,
9 p.m.
literally stop that.
Because I'm like, I'm motivated, and I was like the nighttime owl.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, that is not my season, and that's me being super intentional. It's like, okay, what do I need for myself in this season? That is somewhat slower mornings. I need to make sure that I'm doing a walk, I'm stretching, I'm having my brekkie, doing a journal, and that feels good. And then I'm setting up my day, and I'm like, I'm working for all of this period of time, have my lunch break, take breaks where I need, but by this time at night, I'm switching off, the lights are dimming, I'm getting the house ready for dinner and bed and that sort of stuff. And that's also setting me up for the season that's coming next with having a baby.
Absolutely.
But it's like, I have to be super intentional with where I am now, because we're still growing this business. I'm still growing my personal business. So I'm being intentional with my work and where it needs to be done.
Yeah. I think it was Wednesday. It was one day last week where I just like almost crashed, and because sometimes we can't plan ahead of how we are going to feel, and almost is like a day by day thing. So it's like where you can absolutely plan those intentional times. Example, last week, I was like kind of go. We did like a day trip to like Melbourne. The week before that, it was a day trip to Sydney, or like a few days in Sydney. Like it's just been a lot on. And I pretty much just like crashed. And the second I woke up, I just could not concentrate on a task at all. And I was like, okay, I need to be intentional with my time today, because I can either actually start to fall into the lazy attitude and just like sit there scrolling my phone for ages, because that's going to be the easier option. It's going to be soothing for my brain right now, rather than concentrating on a task that I absolutely cannot do. Or I can do what I need to do for the next few hours, and then know by like 3 p.m. I'm switching off. And I think it was like at 2 p.m. I remember texting Kate, and I was like, okay, my brain is not working today. I'm not being productive at all. I've done what I needed to do, and I'll do like a tiny bit more this afternoon, but like I'm out. Don't ask me questions. Don't do anything. And he was like, cool, I've got it from here. Like literally you need to chill this afternoon, because if I didn't, then that was probably going to prolong into the next day and the next day, and it just keep having a compounding effect until you like get sick. That helped me so much. Actually making a decision that day to be like, okay, by like 2 p.m., I'm done all the hard tasks. Mentally, it was so much easier for me to like push through rather than knowing I had so much to do the whole day. And then I was able to relax. I was able to cook dinner, clean the house, and do like those mind-numbing things that didn't really require much brain work. And then I was good to go the next day.
Or some people are like, why is my voice just like, excuse me, going weird. Some people are the opposite. It's like if you're sitting there and you're like, I cannot for the life of me concentrate. And again, obviously if you're stuck in an office, it's probably not the most realistic thing, but maybe you can take yourself outside and you're like, hey boss, I need a 5-minute walk. Like I can't get my work done. Or if you're working for yourself or you have that flexibility, it's like, okay, maybe you needed to go, I'm giving myself an hour to go for a walk outdoors, go for a swim, go do something that's just going to like fill your cup up for a minute and then have a shower, refresh, and then go back to your task. Like that's sometimes what works for me, knowing like I just need to fill my cup up first, then I can get back into my work. Or you can do it the other way, like you just said, smash it out and then have that time off. But it's being intentional with whatever it is that you choose to do, because even if you're choosing to have a rest day from the gym, you're like, I'm having an intentional rest day so that I can show up better tomorrow, because today would only be 50%. So if I give myself that rest, tomorrow can be 100.
1,000%. It's actually like being intentional with what you are doing, because that takes away the guilt from it as well. Like if I have planned to switch off by 4 p.m. and have a relaxing afternoon, that's what I planned for. Rather than if I get to the couch at 4 p.m. and I'm like, oh my God, I still need to do this, but I'm scrolling on my phone. I'm like laying there staring at the walls. That's when the guilt comes in. You still end up having the exact same, like, I guess, reaction because I'm not doing anything. But both are like, one option is being intentional with it and the other option is, I guess, doing it accidentally because you weren't listening to your body. So the biggest takeaway from this and what we're trying to say is like, if you are starting to burn out, be intentional with your time. And I'm not saying do that every day. Like I literally probably do that like once every 3 weeks, once a month, like knowing that I'm actually like crashing and doing that. But that I know that like on the weekend, I'll have like a morning where I'm not doing anything, or we have girls' night, or I have a night with Kate. Like all of those are really important to be intentional with your time to be able to switch off.
And it's always like we say, there's the power of saying yes, but there's the power of saying no. Like where in your life you're like just doing things that you probably could maybe not do, and then actually have intentional rest so you can show up better at home for your family and your husband and your kids, or for your work. And again, this whole episode in terms of choosing your hard, not being lazy, but then also being really intentional with the choices that you do make, and do they fulfill you right now, but also future you as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I hope that you guys found a lot of value from ditching the lazy girl attitude, actually being intentional with your time and just taking action, because that is truly where the most change is going to be created.
And it's like we can both sit here and say like we were lazy growing up.
100%.
And I think also like our parents did a lot for us, so we didn't necessarily learn the little things that we're now learning. And people might be the opposite. They might have had a hard childhood in terms of like, no, you had to do your own washing and yada, yada, yada. But you learn it either way, one way or another. And I think if you are really serious about your goals and your life and where you want to go, you will start to make these changes.
And you will always create time for yourself in what you find important. That is the biggest thing. If you say you don't have time to hit some extra steps, to go to the gym twice freaking per week, to eat healthy, you are just finding excuses and you are just being lazy. You always do. And again, there are going to be these outliers in this. So it's a very like generic kind of approach to it. But just from like, again, the general population, we are choosing the victim mindset and saying we don't have time for things because we are just choosing to be comfortable and to be lazy, and we're not getting where we want to go. Facts.
So put in the work.
Yeah.
Now, as you can tell, we've changed it up today.
We have.
We've gone straight into the topic of the day.
Yeah.
And we're now going to give you some updates. And I want to firstly touch on the meeting we had yesterday.
Yes.
Briefly and like not too much, obviously. Yeah. We had a very exciting meeting, and it is very much for like the future of the podcast, where we're going to go, where we're going to take it. Obviously, you guys know we're opening up. Jackson and I are opening up a studio, which is where we'll record in. So we're thinking about the set that we want to build and really like take our brand to the next level, what our future is, what our vision is for it, because this will be our 4th year, which is like so crazy. Like, good on us.
No, we so hate it.
And it feels like we're on that like really big verge of like our next level.
I feel like we're on there, like the tipping point.
Yeah.
Like we're so close, like going.
Yeah. So it's like, what do we need to put in place? And we had a massive meeting and just like strategy session with a very incredible person who is helping us kind of put these steps in place to take that next level. So we want to kind of, I guess, experiment over the next couple of weeks before we get into the studio, because once we get into the studio, like that's
what we're doing.
That's where the rocket starts and we go.
The fire is ignited and we're going up and never coming back down.
So we kind of want to experiment a little bit. We've been asking you guys questions on Instagram or on the Facebook group. And we just like at the end of the day want to provide you more and more and more and more.
And if there's anything that you guys want to hear from us more, or that you don't want us to take out, or whatever it is, like comment in the Facebook group. Like send us a message. Like we want the input from you guys too, because at the end of the day, we're providing entertainment for you. So if we don't listen to you, and that can't work.
Yeah.
So we would love some feedback as well.
Yeah. But jumping into our raw reality of the week, not a huge lot of updates.
No.
Because it currently is just like a bit of rinse and repeat happening.
Yeah, it really
we're
is.
setting up the warehouse.
Yeah.
The build is happening. The businesses are growing. We're in that like building phase right now.
Yeah.
And I think like your businesses go through that phase every few months, every couple of years, whatever it is. And we are like in the pits of that phase currently. If you saw or are seeing our stories, like when we're in the warehouse, like we're starting to all get in there with our staff. Like it is a mess. It's not what we want it to be yet, but it will be. And it's almost like, you know, we're waiting for the build to be done, because obviously that's going to make everything dirty. But it's like the new podcast furniture has arrived. The new mirrors are on their way. Like things are coming. So it's like once that build is done, it's going to be so incredible.
I know. I feel like the start happened really quick. Now I'm like, why has nothing else changed?
Yeah,
they
like,
did
hurry
insulation for the walls arrive today.
Yes.
Which is good. But yeah, that's like literally kind of the only updates. Not much has happened in the past week. Electrical started yesterday, but the frames are all up ready to go. We need to find a glass person to do the walls. No idea where to find that one. That's going to be expensive. But it is really exciting and kind of like working in there. Like it's definitely the most I've ever worked. Like I've been every day last week, I think, and this week, yesterday, I'd done 10-hour days in the office, which is crazy. But like getting there at like literally 8 and I've been leaving at 6. And I'm like, oh, I've just like been here the whole entire day. But it's just the most productive I've ever been, and it feels so different. It's good to have that separation from work, and I really like it. So,
and I also can't wait till like the boardroom's done as well, because it's like upstairs in the office working, I'm like, you're all fucking me off. I need some quiet. I'm going in the boardroom.
No, the worst is when Kate and I are jumping on calls together. We both started yesterday, and I was like, I need to go to the stairwell and sit on here. I'm like, fuck
it's
my
just
life.
the season.
Yeah.
But an update from me is, I would say, like I said, we're building this podcast studio. It is expensive.
Yeah.
We've gone and bought the best possible equipment and like all that sort of stuff. And then it's also like we have a baby coming. So, you know, we're buying clothes and we're getting ready, and it's really trying to like just accept that that is the season, and we're not in the season of making money right now. It is spending on the warehouse.
No. You're not in the season of saving money.
Yeah. Definitely that. And that is okay. And I feel like once the warehouse is set up, once nursery is all done, and I've got like, you know, the major things that the baby needs, then I feel like we will get back on track. So it's just, it is what it is. And it's not like, you know, we've got savings, but that might drop a little bit until we can then start adding to it again. But we did choose to do this warehouse, and it is going to be so incredible once it's all done and ready.
Yeah.
Like I just cannot wait. And then it's also going to be so incredible when baby's here. And I'm just so excited for that next chapter. And like,
I like every single day I think about it. And I'm like, how is she pregnant? Like it's not coming out, it's staying in there. Like I just
and because he's getting so big, and like his movements are just like last night at 3:30 a.m. Bang, 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 bang. Like I'm like, you're trying to jump out of me. And I also did a session on the weekend with a doula. And we did ceremonial cacao, which like opens your heart space. We did a meditation, a womb healing, and like sound bowl. And it was really interesting because I did the meditation, and like I haven't been like overly emotional in this pregnancy. Like a lot of people say how emotional they are. I think it'll come when he's here. Like I think that's when I'll just be like, you're the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But in the meditation, she was like, let anything that like he wants to say to you, come through. And like the first thing that just came up was like, Mum, I'm right here with you. And it was just like, that's like got me so emotional because I think it's like, it's so hard, you know, going through PCOS, being told you're not going to have kids. It's like that first 12 to 16 weeks was, you know, somewhat terrifying because you just don't know how it's going to end, and you're seeing people online go through losses and just like your heart goes out to them, and you just don't know what your path is. And then you get through to like 24, 25, which is like the viability week. So it's like if they were born, they're most likely to survive. But then you're tracking movement and that gets stressful, and like he's so active. So when he's not active, I'm like, oh, fuck, like do I need to tell my midwife? Like and obviously your first child, like,
you have no idea.
You have no idea. And even speaking to Riley this morning, she was like, I woke up last night thinking I was in preterm labor. Like I was in so much pain. And it's like, well, none of us know what it feels like. So how do you know? Yeah. What do you do? So it's like as you get closer, it gets so exciting. But as I said, I think too, in one of our recent pods, like I feel like I've seen our birth and I can see myself with him. So I just need to keep like thinking of that. And I think it is human nature that, you know, quote unquote bad thoughts come through or, you know, you just, that protective side of you is like, but what if this, what if that? But it's like, just think of what you know to be true in your head and like what you envision, because I think this baby's come for a reason. So
yeah, crazy.
Yeah. It's all happening.
Oh, it really is. It's so wild. So wild.
I need to show you after this the stuff I got from Best and Less.
Oh, yes.
As well.
Because Riley's like a few weeks away, isn't she?
Yeah, she
next month.
Would be,
April.
Yeah, like her due date's end of April.
So she can go at any point now.
Yeah.
Imagine just getting a photo of her.
Actually, my doula said, which makes so much sense, she was like, her periods come smack on and her firstborn was like right on his due date, basically. Okay. And I know like Riley's usually like pretty bang on with her cycle. And so I'm like, I'm thinking she could go like right on her due date.
Yeah.
This guy over here, 70-day cycles, 50-day cycles.
You think later?
So I think she was like just be prepared that he could come late because of that's like your cycle.
Interesting.
And I was late, Jackson was late. So in my head I'm like 1 to 2 weeks late I'm also prepared for.
Okay.
I really hope not.
Whereas I'm the complete opposite. I was 12 weeks early. Yeah. My sister was 8 weeks and 6 weeks. So they have told and warned that I will probably have prem children too.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
So imagine like if that's an extra 10 whole weeks that you just don't do in pregnancy. And like you don't get big for, you don't like nothing.
Yeah,
like, there's no way mum would have been very big with me at 28 weeks.
Nah.
Because how many weeks are you now?
26.
In 2 more weeks if having a child.
Yeah. No thanks. He needs to cook a bit more.
Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
it's like as soon as he hits 37, you best believe I'll be curb walking. I'll be on that ball. I'll be doing
like here coming out of me.
Dates, raspberry leaf, tea. Yeah, I'll be doing it all. Yeah. But he'll come when he's ready.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Timing will be perfect.
Yeah.
But not too late, brother.
Imagine if we're like mid-podcast recording and I'm like, imagine my waters break or something.
Oh, iconic. It just has to be. It would be. I don't really have many updates either. I've just been like honestly in a work hole and grind at the moment, which has been the best thing ever. Like I am really enjoying the season that I'm in. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We have like new coaches coming on board. Our team is growing, which is really exciting. And we're just like really leveling up our service as much as we can, which is very cool to be working on the business rather than just specifically in the business. I have a few prep clients who are like 4 weeks out now, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, which is fun. It's always like a busy season as we get closer to the comp dates, but equally a very exciting one because it's like my favorite thing to do ever. And then I just like thinking in the back of my mind as I was writing the notes, I would love to have someone that I pay that goes through my fucking photos.
It'd have to be someone like you kind of know because who knows what's on there.
But also I don't give a fuck. Like I just could not care less. But I'm like, I just like don't have it in me to delete photos. Not from a space of like I'm hoarding them. I'm just like, I am not sitting there going through. I now have 110,000 photos on my phone because I just do not delete them. And I don't know what it is. I have such a resistance towards, and I think because it's piled up so much now that I'm like, it's game over.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I have to delete 100 photos a day. That's it. Because that's very achievable because I probably have 100 photos of one coffee cup in the morning.
Yeah. Can you like start from the top and work your way down?
So I was thinking the opposite way. I was thinking from the bottom to, I don't think I'm going to the top. That's so wrong. I'm thinking start of last year.
No, don't do that.
Why?
Because that's just like randomly in like the 3/4 way through your for a camera roll.
Yeah, but I think I used to be much better at it because I never had storage. And then like last year's when I paid for 2 terabytes. So then that's when I've just stopped deleting.
Well, you should just do like if you can do 100 photos a day, like go to the top for the first day and just like scroll through. Is there stuff to delete?
True.
Because there probably still is like 400 coffee cups and 3 photos of your bao bun. So yeah.
But deep diving into that more, I'd love someone to create albums. So it's like if I want to create a reel, it's like, cool, fitness done.
I know.
If I want to do food, cool, here, done. Rather than going download. Like, anyways, that is such just a random thought, but I feel like people can relate with that. And then finally, I finished Suits.
Yeah.
It's done.
You cried.
I bawled, and not from the ending because I like predicted the ending. That was fine. It was the very last scene where they're doing flashbacks throughout the whole entire series.
Yeah.
And I lost it because I was like, that's when I watched it at like Kate's old house and it was our first week of dating.
So it was more of like a you thing.
It was definitely a me thing. And I was like, then that scene, we were like moving into the house together. I specifically remember because like we started it the first week and I was like, I just got very, and I was like, oh my God, we're living together. We have a business. We have a dog. Like so much has changed while watching Suits. I just got way too freaking sentimental for no reason. It's a TV series, Lily.
Was Kate like, why are you crying?
He literally like did not give a fuck. Like I thought maybe he was like, oh, like it is pretty sweet. He was like, why are you crying? And I was like, because it's so sentimental. And he's like, okay. Like, got nothing.
He's like, I'm going to bed now.
No, he's like, I gotta go speak to Cage. And I was like, cool. But then apparently LA Suits. There's like LA Suits. I don't know if I might try it.
Yeah.
I didn't get a rerun, so I think there's only 1 or 2 seasons.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah.
And it is nice to have that one thing like where you can switch off and just watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Well, that is all from us today. We, like we said, if there's anything you want to hear from us, don't want us to take out, you want something specific that we haven't done before, like please just DM us. We want the feedback.
Yeah.
And also if there's things that you don't like we want to know it all so we can really
criticism.
Yeah, be nice. But
please.
Tell us.
Sometimes I hurt my feelings.
We really want to, just like level up for you guys as well. So we love you so much and we'll be back in your ears on Thursday.
Bye.